The meatballs are done. So now we're into part two. I cooked the meatballs in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. That was it. They're little ones, so now you see the little oil drippings, the fat drippings under each one. That's kind of important. That's what's going to help create some of your sauce, and they smell really good. This is just one batch because the other batch I'm going to do a different menu item for that. I have a skillet here warming up. I wish that you could see the oven, but I'm such an amateur. I don't have any equipment or any setup. I wake up in the morning and I get in the mood and then I say, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and record myself today. So I have this big skillet and I think I bought it at an estate sale. It was a lady, Miss Margaret, that used to live next door to me in Swissvale, and yeah, moved her to a different place to live. Her family did, and she had an estate sale, and this is what I snagged. I love it. It's really big. It's nice, stainless steel, perfect. So in this skillet, I'm going to go ahead and I have 2 tablespoons of. It's not quite 2 tablespoons of olive oil because olive oil doesn't really cook great at a high temperature. It'll brown. It'll burn. So what I do, and I get this from my mother, she says add a little bit of butter to the olive oil, and that helps to reduce that high burn content. I forget what it's called. I mean, I used to work with this chef, and he would talk about the different oils that won't burn when you cook them on a high temperature. Olive oil isn't that great. With it, avocado oil is one of the better ones that can take a lot of heat. So you can hear the sizzle, I hope, and it's getting all hot and sizzly, which I love the sound of sizzling in a kitchen. I am going to take and throw these meatballs in this pan so they can cook a little bit more. And the reason why I really want to put these meatballs in this pan is because I need the drippings. I need the drippings to create a flavorful sauce. So we're going to go ahead and scrape the meatballs in there. There's all its drippings in the pan. These are great pans too. My mom got them for me for Christmas. I absolutely love them. I have to talk to you about them a little bit later when I have time. But you see how I just threw the meatballs in there? And they're cooking and sizzling. It's going to flavor my pan for the sauce. Okay, let me put me back up there so that you can see what I'm doing, sort of. Just want to scrape these through in the pan. Not too long. I don't want to overcook the meatballs. Just enough to get some flavor in that pan. And once those start to fry a bit, and I'm going to turn the oven up just a little bit more, I'm going to take them out and I'm going to put the rest of the ingredients in. So I got 2 tablespoons of flour, still got some minced garlic because you can't have too much garlic. And I've got sliced mushrooms, and I sliced a little bit more onion. I also have a chicken broth, and I had the chicken broth already in the refrigerator. And you gotta learn, whenever you find these recipes, and if you don't have the beef broth, but you have some chicken broth or you have some vegetable broth, go ahead and use that. You gotta learn how to substitute certain items that you already have in the house. That you're not going out buying extra to make the recipe complete. Go by your palette, go by what you already have, even Google substitutes, and you'll be able to put a meal together with the stuff that you already have in the house, and you don't have to spend extra money. That's what this whole thing is all about, not spending extra money. So my phone kind of went on a tilt there. That's okay. I'm just browning these a little bit. Some of you might want to throw in a wine, throw a cooking wine in here instead of the broth. Not everybody can do that. I mean, alcohol does cook down. If you are not interested in using the alcohol, then you could use the broth. So I did brownies. I got some flavor in a pan now. I wish you could smell it. You think Apple could think of a way to get the aromas going through the phones. Well, they probably are working on it. So I'm going to go ahead, remove these out, leave that oil in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw my mushrooms in the pan, because it's a mushroom cream sauce. And I'm not a big fan of those mushroom sauces that you buy in the store. My sister Victoria, she has an amazing mushroom soup recipe that you can make from scratch. And you can put it in mason jars and have it handy if you ever want to make a mushroom-based sauce recipe. You already have that cooked up. It's amazing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and throw in 1 cup of broth. Yes, sizzle in the steam. I can't get enough of it. Okay, onions are in there. Throw some garlic. Here's the onions. I'm not going to put too much onions in there because I already got a lot of onions in the meatballs. And if you're feeding kids, you know how they are about the onions and the peppers and things like that. They're picking all that stuff out. Oh, I think I'm getting a little foggy there. I'm going to put in a little bit more garlic, as I stated before. Turn this up. Put down those mushrooms. See that brown? That's from the meatballs. Break that up. That's where you're getting your flavors for your sauces. Okay. Did it get foggy on you while I was showing you that? Probably so. It smells really nice. Yeah, Dawn, you need to buy some equipment. I do have a piece of equipment around here. I can't find it. Oh, this is janky. That's what janky means. When you got stuff any old kind of which way hanging up, trying to film any old kind of which way. So, got that cooking nice and hot. We got the broth in there. We've got the flavor bits in there. And so, let's get milk inside. Oh, okay. Gonna grab the milk. I got a 2%. And sour cream. For this mushroom cream sauce. Go ahead and sprinkle in some flour. With my favorite whisk, and this is driving me nuts now. Oh, okay. Alrighty, I'll put you back over here where I had you before. next time I do a recipe, I'm going to go grab that gadget, wherever that gadget is, because this is not professional at all. So it is thickening up because of the flour. Anybody that knows how to cook understands the process. I'm going to add a little bit more flour though. Oh, it smells really good in here. It's because of that garlic. Ah. Look. See how it's thickening? So then I'm going to pour in about a cup of milk. Turn the heat down because you don't want to make glue. You don't want to make paste, and that's what happens when you're using flour and liquids and milk and stuff like that. Put a cup of milk in here. Heat up. Put a little bit of salt in here. And it is thickening up nicely. Let's turn the heat up a little bit more. I'm gonna grab a spoon and taste it. Be right back. I was watching this special on Netflix about African American cooking, and one thing I learned, I never learned it anywhere else, was when you're tasting things, so that you don't have to keep using a lot of spoons, and you're using the inside of your hands when you're cooking. So if you use the outside for tasting, you're not contaminating anything. So just put a little bit on there and taste it. That's really good. I can really taste the mushrooms. Yeah, I can really taste the mushrooms. Just need some salt. Not too much salt, because I like for people to gauge their own salt intake. That is really nice. Really pretty color too. I'm gonna do. That's good. I'm gonna go over here and wash my hands. Yeah, it's hot when it lands on the back of your hand, but your hand, the back of your hand is pretty durable. It's more thick skin, so don't burn yourself as much. But, so then, what you do now, once you got this sauce made, just let it bubble up a little bit more. Then you start adding the meatballs back into the sauce. And that's how they continue to cook all the way through and become nice and juicy. See? so what you're gonna do is you're just gonna let that simmer, that sauce. And if that sauce gets a little bit thick for you, just go ahead and add a little bit more milk. The recipe also calls for adding some sour cream. And I'm not going to add too much sour cream because I just don't want that to overpower the flavor of the mushrooms and the garlic and the onions and the herbs. I don't know why my meatball keeps getting stuck in my favorite utensil here. People are really going to enjoy this. And see, it is thickening. And I'm just going to add a half a cup of milk. Thin that sauce out a little bit more while it simmers. And so there you have it. Since these meatballs are so small, I think they're cooked all the way through already, even without the simmer. And yeah, they are. See, let me bring you down here. All right, cooked, broke it. See what we got there? This is very good. This recipe This is very good. This is very good. This recipe is called Meatballs and Mushroom Cream Sauce that I got off of some cooking website. It's really good. I really like it. And one thing with cooking, you got to add your own variations to what you like. This is going to be a meal that is going to stretch through the week. It didn't cost that much. I'm telling you. The beef was $5.99. The sweet sausage was $3. The mushrooms were $1.19. I already had onions in the house. I already had milk in the house. I already had all my seasonings here. Invest in the seasonings because you can make some cheap meals taste really, 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 really good if you've got the right seasonings and herbs in the house. I already had broth here. When I go shopping, I keep broth in the pantry. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to boil egg noodles. And this is going to be served on top of the egg noodles. And you got a meal. And you can have garlic bread. You could make yourself a small salad. And a salad doesn't have to be 900 ingredients in it, which, it just reminds me of a compost pile. But when I make a salad, it might be a little bit of onion, it might be a little bit of cucumber, and a little bit of tomato, and a little bit of lettuce. It doesn't even have to be lettuce. It could be spinach. It could just be anything. You sprinkle your favorite dressing on there, lemon juice, red vinegar, apple cider vinegar, or your favorite dressing that you have in the fridge. And you've got a meal. You're not hungry, and you're not broke. So... and as this sauce thickens, I'm actually getting more sauce. See? I'm getting more sauce because it's thickening. And I'm adding more milk. And then I'm going to add a little bit of sour cream. There you have it. So, thanks for sticking with me on this. I'm still learning how to do this. People keep encouraging me to create videos and a YouTube channel and create a cookbook and things like that. And that is in my spirit to want to eventually do that one day. So I'm at practice. Thank you for hanging with me while I'm in practice. And I'm going to do another video because I have a whole nother set of meatballs here, and I'm going to do something else with them. It's going to be a little bit easier and quicker and a little bit more fun, and maybe the kids might like that too. Or maybe your big kid might like that. So I'll be back. Thanks.